Good morning once again. Welcome to our work immersion class. We are now on the last week of first quarter, or we are now on the quarter 1, week 4. So I hope that you still remember our topic last week, in which we discussed all about safety and health protocols in a workplace area. Now, for this week, we're about to discuss the rights and duties of employees and employers, confidentiality in the workplace, and conflict resolution. So, bawat isa ay may karapatan at may papel na kailangang gampanan sa lugar kung saan kayo nagtatrabaho. Then, ano nga ba ang confidentiality? At paano natin masusolusyonan ang hindi pagkakaintindihan. After going through this module, you are expected to, number 1, get oriented on the rights of employers, employees, and other person. Number 2, realize the importance of practicing confidentiality in the workplace. Number 3, practice confidentiality in the workplace or wherever it is necessary. And the last one is identify the techniques in solving and preventing conflict. Let's proceed. For your learning task 1, the title is My Rights. As a child, write down at least 10 of your rights. So, bilang isang bata, ano nga ba ang inyong karapatan? So, yun. So, for the rights and duties of employers and employees, it is included on the Republic Act number 110581. So, this is an act strengthening compliance with occupational safety and health standards and providing penalties for violations thereof. So, nung nakaraang linggo, pinag-usapan natin ang OSHS or Occupational Safety and Health Standards. So, doon ay may mga kailangang gawin ang employees at employers. So, ito ay hindi lamang basta-basta ginawa ng isang employer. Ito ay napapaloob sa Republic Act 110581, in which for an employer who violated this act, there will be a penalty that will be given to him or to her. Section 1 of this Republic Act tells that the state affirms labor as a primary social and economic force and that a safe and healthy workforce is an integral part. So, ayun, malaking percentage ang bumubuo sa economic force ay nanggagaling sa labor sector. That's why it is the responsibility of the state, to provide a safe and healthy workplace. Why? Because it is an integral part. The states shall ensure a safe and healthful workforce for all working people by affording them a full protection against all hazards and their work environment. So yung mga PPE na yan, ay must o dapat talaga meron ang isang employer. Depende sa klase ng kanyang business. So, for example, if you are in a construction business, one example of PPE that can be worn by your employees ay yung hard hat na tinatawag. So, yon. Chapter 3, Section 4 of this RA 110581 states the duties and rights of employers, workers, and other persons. So, yon. Dito pala napapaloob. Okay, duties of employers. Number 1, furnish the workforce a place of employment free from hazardous conditions that are causing or likely to cause death, illness, or physical harm to the workers. So, as an employer, it is your responsibility na siguraduhin safe ang iyong manggagawa na kung saan hindi sila makakaramdam ng harm. Diba? Hindi sila magkakaroon ng sakit or even death. Number 2, give complete job safety instructions or orientation to all the workers, especially to those entering the job for the first time. So it is the responsibility of the employer to orient all his or her employees before they have to start their work, the do's and don'ts. Next, number 3, inform the workers of the hazard associated with their work, health risk involved or to which they are exposed to. So yon, karapatan nyo ng employee na malaman. Halimbawa, if you are on a furniture business, so may mga varnish dyan, so dapat yun ay alam mo kung ano ang magiging epekto nito sa iyong kalusugan. Next, use only approved devices and equipment for the workplace. Huwag po tayong magtipid ng gamit para sa ating mga employees. Kasi kung magtitipid tayo, baka mas marami pa or mas malaki pa ang ating gagastusin. Next, comply with OSH standards, including training, medical examination, and where necessary provision of protective and safety devices such as personal protective equipment and machine guards. So, yon. Sabi dyan, dapat may medical exam, may training, tapos yung approved lamang na PPE ang kailangang ipagamit sa mga employees. Next, allow workers and their safety and health representatives to participate actively in the process of organizing, planning, implementing, and evaluating the safety and health program. So even though you are the sole owner of your business, still you need other persons for planning, implementing, organizing, and evaluating in terms of your safety and health program. Kasi hindi po lahat ay alam natin. So dapat mas maganda pa rin na doon tayo magtanong or kumonsulta sa taong may alam sa mga bagay na yon. Next, the last one, provide where necessary for measure to deal with emergencies and accidents, including first aid arrangements. So, ang aksidente ay hindi maiiwasang hindi mangyari. So, if ever that this will happen in a workplace, see to it that you have this first aid corner or kit. Next, duties of the worker. So, yun ang duties ng employers. How about the employees or the workers? Ito po yun. Number 1, every worker shall participate in ensuring compliance with OSH standards in the workplace. So, sinasabi dito, you have to follow, di ba? Those OSH standards in your workplace. Huwag matigas ang ulo. Number 2, the worker shall report to the supervisor any work hazard that may be encountered in the workplace. So kung may na-encounter kayong hazard on your workplace, paka-report ka agad sa inyong supervisor or to the authorized person. Then, for duties of other persons, it shall be the duty of any person, including the builder or contractor who visits, builds, renovates, or installs devices or conducts business in any establishment or workplace to comply with the provision of this Act and in any regulations issued by the Secretary of Labor and Employment. So kahit ikaw pang kontraktor, kailangan mo pa rin sumunod. Whenever 2 or more undertakings are engaged in activities simultaneously in one workplace, it shall be the duty of all engaged to collaborate in the application of OSH standards and regulations. Why? Simply because in a workplace, there are different activities that will be taken place. So you have to follow still those OHS standards. Diba? Halimbawa, sa paggawaan ng mga furnitures, may nagbabarnish, may nagliliha, may nag-assemble, may nag-uukit, for example. So, iba-ibang activities nila, but still, they have to follow or comply with the OSH standards. Section 5 to 8, workers' right. Number 1, workers' right to know. Karapatan mong malaman, unang-una, ang sitwasyon ng kumpanya, pangalawa, ang kalagayan nito in terms of the health standard protocols. Next, workers' right to refuse unsafe work. So, karapatan mong humindi kapag alam mo na hindi ka safe sa trabahong yon. Next, the right to report accidents. Oh, may naputulan na ng daliri, 'di ba? Hindi nyo pa sinasabi, that is wrong. 'Di ba? Any accidents that will be taken place in your workplace, it had to be reported to the authorized person. Next, or the last one, workers' right to personal protective equipment, especially kung mga machines na malalaki ang iyong gamit. Hindi pwedeng wala kayong PPE. O yun. How about confidentiality? So, any idea what confidentiality is? I know that you heard this word, confidential. So, confidentiality came from the root word confidential. O, yun. Sikreto, maselang impormasyon. So, once we say confidentiality refers to not discussing internal goings-on with co-workers. Or simply, sa salita natin, mas madaling maiintindihan, bawal i-chismis. Bawal mag-chismis. O, confidentiality yon. Confidentiality has both casual and legal definitions. What is the Data Privacy Act of the Philippines? Yon. The Data Act or the Data Privacy Act or DPA or Republic Act number 10173 was passed by the Philippines Congress in 2012 and finally implemented 5 years later in 2016. RA 10173 assures the free flow of information to promote innovation and growth. Republic Act number 10173 Chapter 1 Section 2. Doon po yun makikita while protecting the user's fundamental rights to privacy. So kapag may nalaman kang impormasyon with regards to your work or the company where you are working, no, you have to use this confidentiality or Republic Act number 10173 kasi meron ka pong pananagutan dito. RA 10173 protects and maintains the right of customers to confidentiality by setting a legal list of rules for companies to regulate the collection, handling, and disposal of all personal information. So yon, anong information man na manggagaling sa customers or sa employees, being the employer or the owner of that business, ay hindi mo po ito pwedeng ilalabas basta-basta. Lalong-lalo na po kung ang pinag-uusapan ay personal information. Yon. Now, what is personal information? Personal information refers to any information, whether recorded in a material form or not, from which the identity of an individual is apparent or can be reasonably and directly ascertained by the entity holding the information or when put together with other information who directly and certainly identify an individual. So, this can be found on the Republic Act number 10173, Chapter 1, Section 3. Diba? So, just like for example, here in our school, yung data ninyo with regards to your records ay hindi yun basta-basta inilalabas. Unless yung kumukuha for example ng inyong Form 137 ay authorized person. So, sino-sino ba yung mga authorized person na yon? Relatives, parents, or kayo mismo kapag nasa legal age na. So, how much more kung ang pinag-uusapan natin dito ay ang, di ba, informations of your employees and customers. Personal information yon. Saan mo nakukuha yung mga personal informations na yon? For example, sa employees, yung nag-apply sila, yung CV or yung resume or biodata na kanilang isinabmit, may mga personal informations yon. So, hindi mo yun basta-basta pwedeng ilabas. Or about an individual's race, ethnic origin, marital status, age, color, and religious, philosophical, or political affiliations. Diba? Yung mga kasama doon sa ating mga katutubo, hindi basta-basta yun inilalabas. Or number 2, about an individual's health, education, genetic or sexual life of a person, or to any proceeding for any offense committed or alleged to have been committed by such person, the disposal of such proceedings, or the sentence of any court in such proceedings. So, personal informations pa rin yun. Ang dami, no? Ano daw yung personal information? Status, edad, di ba? Ano pa? Ethnic group, education, lalong-lalo na kung ang pinag-uusapan ay yung offense committed by that person. Halimbawa, nakasuhan siya, may naging kaso siya. Ano ang proceedings? Ano ang naging verdict sa kanya? Guilty or not guilty? Still, wala kang karapatang ilabas yun or ibigay kung kani-kanino lamang. Be aware of that. Next, number 3. Issued by government agencies peculiar to an individual who includes but not limited to social security numbers, previous or current health records, licenses or its denials, suspension or revocation of tax returns. So, my dear ABM and UMS students, napakalawak po kapag ang pinag-uusapan natin ay personal information, in which it includes on the confidentiality. Isama pa natin yung policies of your work or the company. May rules and regulations sila. Informations na importante sa negosyo of that company kung saan ka nagtatrabaho, hindi mo rin po yun pwedeng ilabas basta-basta lamang. Bakit? Kasi po, pwede kang kasuhan once you violated that Republic Act 10173. Okay. Next, we proceed to conflict. So, ang conflict ay hindi naiiwasan kahit saan. And the workplace is not exempted for this. So, para hindi ka mapatrouble, hindi ka masabihan ng amo mo ng, "You're fired." Oh, you have to be careful, di ba? Ang pagiging chismosa ay ilagay natin sa lugar. So, what is conflict? Di ba? Yung mga pabida-bida dyan, eto yon, nagkakaroon ng conflict between the owner or between his or her employees. Okay. Conflict is a state of incompatibility of ideas between two or more parties or individuals. So, hindi magkasundo ang idea ninyo, di ba? Hindi magkatugma, hindi magkasundo. Hindi pwedeng idugtong ang idea niya sa idea mo. So, conflict ang kalalabasan nun. It is also a natural disagreement resulting from individual or groups that differ in attitudes, beliefs, values, or needs. That's why I kept on telling you that conflict ay hindi maiiwasan because of our individual differences. Sabi nga nila, ang kambal magkaiba. How much more pa tayo? Iba-iba ang ating pinanggalingan, di ba? Iba-iba ang ating mga paniniwala and values. Magkakaiba tayo pinalaki ng ating mga magulang. So that will affect, di ba? Kung paano tayo nag-formulate ng idea or how we behave or kung anong attitude meron po tayo. Okay. So, kapag hindi maiiwasan ang conflict, I hope that this conflict resolution techniques can help you, no? Sa bahay, kung hindi maiiwasan ang conflict, sana makatulong ito. Okay, number 1, listen, then speak out. Makinig ka muna. Huwag mong sabayan yung nagpapaliwanag. Kahit pa ikaw ang pinakamagaling sa grupo ninyo, sa team ninyo, still try to listen. Alam natin that a particular story or every story have two sides. Both sides ay kailangan mong pakinggan. Ikaw ang nagsasalita, nakikinig sila. Well, when it's their turn to talk, it's also your turn to listen. Gather the group. Lahat, kung meron kang 100 miyembro, di ba? 2 kayo, 5 kayo, 10 kayo, 20 kayo, lahat yun dapat kumpleto. If you're going to give solution to that conflict. Next, be impartial. Pumagitna ka. If you were the employer or if you were a team leader, sa gitna ka dapat. Wala kang dapat panigan. Huwag kang maging bias. Next, do not postpone conflict resolution. Yon. O, naka-schedule kayo ng April 12. Diba? Huwag ka nang mag-alibay pa. Pursue that conflict resolution. Next, promote teamwork. Ayun. As a team, dapat ay nagkakaisa. Next, broadcast praises. O yun, magaling ang team mo. Ipahayag mo sa maramihan, hindi yung 1 o 2 lang. Di ba? Kapag maganda ang ginagawa ng team, i-broadcast mo yun na maririnig, malalaman ng lahat. Why? Kasi pamamaraan mo yun para maging mamotivate sila to do better with regards to their work. At baka nga hindi lang better pa ang ilabas nila, kundi yung best nila. Mas maganda yun. Pero, kapag may kapalpakan ang isa sa mga employee mo or member mo, tawagin mo lang siya. Kausapin mo ng kayong 2 lang. Yun. Sabi nga nila, walang problema na hindi nadadala sa pag-uusap. Okay, next. How will conflict be prevented? Kung maiiwasan, iwasan ang conflict. Mas magandang magtrabaho kung lahat kasundo mo, lahat masaya, walang dinadala sa dibdib, walang kaaway. Ayun. Number 1 is being open. Sabihin mo kung kung ano ang ayaw mo. Kung ano ang nakita mong mali, sabihin mo. But then, see to it that you are going to say it in a nice way. Ayun. Nice way dapat. Next, maintain clear communication. Huwag paligoy-ligoy. Direct to the point. Use simple words so that they can easily understand what you are trying to say. Next, encourage different points of view and evaluate each fairly. If you are asking opinions of your co-workers or of your team members, di ba? Gather. Then pag-isipan mo, alin ba dito ang kailangan ko? Demonstrate respect for team members rather than resorting to balmigate. Ayun. Di ba? Respeto sa bawat isa ay very much important. Kahit pa ikaw ang pinakamataas ang posisyon sa iyong kumpanya, still, you have to show them respect. Kahit pa ang janitor mo ay kailangan mong irespeto. Bakit? Kasi po sila ay tao ding katulad mo. As simple as that. Then the last one is keep team issues within the team. Kung may problema sa team mo, dapat doon lamang yun sa team. Take note, confidentiality within the workplace Kapag may na-violate ka, ay pwede kang kasuhan. Huwag mong ilalabas yon kasi pag-chichismis na yon. At pwede kang sabihan ng professional chismosa, lalong-lalo na kung ikaw ay may pinag-aralan. I hope that you learned something from today's lesson. For your learning task 2, the title is My Actions. For the direction, read the following situations and answer the questions that follow. Write your answers on a sheet of paper. This activity can be found on page 13 of your module 4. So, enjoy watching and answering all the activities and the tangbilin and reflection. Congratulations, everyone!